Now, the channel's Eyewitness platform is increasingly gaining momentum in the level of awareness and participation from you, our viewers. Now, more interesting are the responses. Most recently, the 1 million naira donation made by a concerned citizen following an update on the well-being of a young girl, Moreno Bilkisu, who was violently attacked. This Eyewitness report looks at the hazards of refuse heaps across the country and the moves that one community is making to change the trend. Our correspondent, Oluwa Shunibare, is our guide.
Our focus on the Eyewitness report today is on health. And from the images sent in by our Eyewitness reporters, all does not appear well. This picture by Roland was taken as he was about to board a Lagos-bound bus from the Ijebode Park in Ogun State, southwest Nigeria. With the rainy season fast approaching and the sewage in this condition, it's no surprise why the roads are always flooded. Gabriel then takes it to another level with this picture of the Araria market in Aba, in Abia State, located in the southeast. For a place that records a high volume of people, this level of hygiene is unacceptable. If you thought that was bad, then this from Bonnie from Otukpo in the Middle Belt region of Benue State should make you cringe. With its reputation as the food basket of the nation, perhaps the time has come for the baskets to be put to another use, clearing up the garbage. This leads us to the story of the day, where a community in Lagos State is fighting to ensure its members face the wrath of the law as it seeks to protect itself from harm of refuse and robbers. And the channel's Eyewitness crew paid a visit to the Ngodo axis of the metropolis for a first-hand view. We meet one of the community leaders who shows us how residents have turned the community into a health hazard.
By the time it rains now, the offensive odor coming from this place will not even allow these children here to enjoy their learning. And even the environment here too. Sometimes they even drop even dead animals here. And when it rains, how do we live in the community? We are mounting this security something now, also as a vigilant point, so that people will be deprived of dumping. Whoever drop now, any and this court, will pay a fine.
Beyond the health scare is the security concerns, as robbers have found the heap a convenient means of escape after robbing their victims.
We have been under siege, especially the incessant attack of the armed robbers in this area. And we discovered that by the time they perpetrate their evil act around this area, this always seems to be the escape route. And by the time we chase them to this point, no one will want to, enter into the Igboro, as it's being called. So most of the times, when we get to this point, we just have to leave them.
The responsibility for a healthy environment should not be left for government alone to handle. The communities concerned should also look inwards and support the ultimate cause of progress. And you can be sure that the channel's television Eyewitness platform will always be there to make sure both parties play their part. Oluwa Shunibare, Channels Television News.
We can now bring you more on the reaction of the Ogun State chapter of the People's Democratic Party to the announcement by former President Chief Olusegun Obasanjo about him leaving the party. Just a few hours after Chief Obasanjo made the announcement of his exit, the chairman of the PDP in Ogun State, Chief Bayo Dayo, announced the expulsion of the former president for what he terms anti-party activities. Other national leaders of the party have also waded in the matter. The chairman of the party's board of trustees, Chief Tony Aneni, and also member of the BOT and Southwest leader, Chief Olabode George, have condemned the action of the former president.
Unbecoming of a highly celebrated party man engaged in by Chief Olusegun Obasanjo, the totality of the executive, leaders, and members of the People's Democratic Party (PDP) family in Ogun State hereby state categorically, as from today, Monday, 16th of February 2015, Olusegun Aremu Obasanjo stands expelled and excommunicated from the party, thereby losing all rights, previous privileges, and respect of our teaming party members. He seems to have lost all sense of proper behavior expected of a man who previously used and abused the opportunity provided him by PDP. It is ironic that this is the same Obasanjo who, when he was president, never tolerated nor accepted any opinion, suggestion, or criticism of his tenure.
The chairman of the People's Democratic Party's chapter in Ogun State, Mr. Bayo Dayo. As an attention back to electoral matters, the president has insisted that the May 29th handover date remains sacrosanct. President Goodluck Jonathan reiterated this during a meeting in the presidential villa with the European Union Observer Group led by Mr. Santiago Fisas. Mr. Fisas, who spoke to State House correspondents after the meeting, said they were in the presidential villa to exchange views with the president about the elections. Meanwhile, the president of the ECOWAS Commission, Mr. Kadri Ouedraogo, who also met with President Jonathan today, has appealed to Nigerians and all major gladiators in the forthcoming elections to show respect for the country's constitution.
I've sent a fact-finding mission here in Nigeria, led by His Excellency John Kufuor, the former president of Ghana. And later on, we have set up a long-term observation mission that came into the country, and they were deployed in the 5 geostrategic zones of the country. So they made the report, and despite of the postponement of the election, there was a debriefing with them, and we have judged it necessary to share their observation with all the stakeholders, and it is in that respect that we came this morning to inform His Excellency about the findings and recommendation of our fact-finding mission. Of course, we are going to engage with all the stakeholders, the APC candidate, with INEC also, to share with them the finding of our observation mission. We have also issued a declaration following the postponement of election, appealing for calm and understanding, and also appealing to all the authorities to make sure that the Constitution is respected.
I must to meet all the candidates. I met twice General Buhari, then I asked to make, of course, President Jonathan. Very kindly, he accepted to receive me and my team today with the European Ambassador, the Deputy Chief Observer, and other colleagues. Then just to have an exchange of views about the elections. And I am very happy to the insurance that the President have given about that the inauguration must be the 29th of May as maximum. Then I think it's very good news because it's, of course, that is inside the Constitution and is about something that really loves democracy as President Jonathan. I was no doubt that that is what he wants to do and has been his issue all us about that.
Head of the EU Observer Group, Mr. Santiago Fisas, and the President of the ECOWAS Commission, Mr. Kadri Ouedraogo, at the Presidential Villa. Meanwhile, the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, says it has achieved about 73% collection of permanent voter cards nationwide. Spokesperson for the chairman of INEC, Mr. Kayode Idowu, told Channels Television that even though there is steady progress being made, the level of interest shown at the collection centres is dismal. However, at some of the centres, many residents in the FCT, as well as staff of the INEC, complain that the Commission has failed to reproduce missing PVCs reported to it since August last year. Our correspondent, Gloria Umezuke, reports.
It's 8 days after the announcement by the chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, to postpone the elections to March 28. The response at the PVC collection centres was immediate. Our visits to collection centres in the nation's capital show that the number of those who want to collect their permanent voters' cards has reduced. In spite of this, spokesman for the INEC chairman disclosed that the distribution rate is well over 69% recorded last week.
As at Friday, we've inched close to 73% of the registered number of voters, and that's talking about 50 million cards. A little over 50 million cards collected.
Ohigbaja Alexander explained that he was told pointedly that he would not vote because his PVC is missing.
My name is not in the register and my PVC is not here. And when they check it, they say there is nothing they can do. There's no need for me to vote. I should just go and wait till next election.
I'm at the PVC collection center here at the government secondary school, Gariki, where there is a major problem springing up. A lot of voters have come here for their PVCs. Many of them have their names on the register, but do not have their PVCs. In such an event, they're directed to fill a form such as this. And we are made to understand that since August last year, they've had about 20 to 30 cases of such every day. Up until now, they do not still have PVCs reproduced for them.
Then they were coming, their cards are here, but they are not on the register. So when we complained to the office, they now rectified the problem. They now asked us that we should be giving them these cards, and we are now giving them.
Reproduction of PVCs by INEC is not the only challenge. At the makeshift camps for internally displaced persons, the people are anxious to vote, but no PVC.
The guy and I say, make them go Gariki, go Korita. I go Gariki 3 days. I suffer for that place. As I call reach that place, they come tell me, say, they don't see my own.
For now, the distribution of the permanent voters' cards continues by the Independent National Electoral Commission as Nigerians count down to the new dates of the general elections. Gloria Umezuke, Channels Television News.
Vice President Namadi Sambo has been reaching out to Muslim leaders from the Northwest Zone, seeking their support in participating in credible polls and voting for the incumbent president in March. Mr. Sambo addressed a gathering of the leaders who said their major concern, apart from the conduct of the polls, is that it is violence-free. A meeting which held in Kaduna was organized by the presidency.
The session brought together Islamic leaders and scholars inside this hall to brainstorm on how to achieve peaceful elections. The event, which has the theme Towards a Violence-Free 2015 General Elections in Nigeria, the role of religious leaders and parents, attracted prominent Islamic preachers and scholars from Kaduna, Jigawa, Kebbi, Katsina, Sokoto, Zamfara and Kano states. One by one, they made their presentations, emphasizing the need for all to embrace peace and shun acts capable of disrupting the forthcoming polls.
Staying in peace has a lot of advantage. Every religion, every leader preaches peace. More so in our dispensation as a country, Nigeria. Even in our constitution, living in peace is enshrined in it. We can't move forward as a people without peace. It is left for clerics to bring people together for peace to reign.
On his part, Vice President Namadi Sambo called on the young people not to take laws into their own hands during the elections, no matter the height of provocation. He gave assurance that the present administration is determined to bring positive development in the country, anchored on peace and harmony, and also is working very hard to end the Boko Haram insurgency in the northeast of the country.
You may recall that the 2011 last general election was marred by post-election violence in some part of the country, especially in this part of Nigeria. We must therefore avoid a repeat of such unwholesome incidences that has caused great setback to the nation.
In 2011, post-election violence affected many states in the north, where many lives and properties were lost. With a sensitization, it is expected that the Muslim leaders will take home this message of peace and unity to their followers towards ensuring a peaceful, free and fair elections.
When the news at 10 returns, New Peng absolves itself of blame over botched NLC elections as other members insist on a new executive by March 3rd. That's in a moment. Please join us again.